All right, here we go. Welcome into NBA Now by Chat Sports. Chase Senior here with you. Coming up on today's show, going to take a look at our top 25 big board and really examine some of the best prospects in the 2023 NBA draft class. And obviously, this is a draft that is headlined by a guy in Victor Wembanyama who is looked at as one of the more polarizing prospects over the last couple of generations. This guy is an extremely unique player, and of course, he comes in at number one on our big board. He is getting shades of a Gen Z Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. He can shoot from the outside. He is unbelievable size at 7'3", 229 pounds. And here's the crazy thing. He is only 19 years old, and he has a ridiculous wingspan of 8 feet. Now, he's playing pro ball right now in France, and the numbers, absolutely awesome. He has had some injury issues during his upbringing. I think part of that is because he's grown so much, but the production, the game, how he towers over opponents, how he can control the game on both ends with the unique offensive skill set, but also his rim protection as well, makes him the number one prospect on our big board and a lot of other people's as well. Nearly 22 points per game in France, 10.5 rebounds, 3 blocks per game. He is only shooting 28% from three. I do think that's an area, though, where he can continue to grow a little bit. That 28% coming on 5.1 3-point attempts per game. But when you see a guy his size, his length, hitting some step backs, you do get some shades of Kevin Durant. He's so unique. And coming in at number 2, it's Brandon Miller out of Alabama. Will, I know you're a little bit unsure on Miller, but man, he certainly has a tantalizing skill package.
Yeah, I think he has the potential to be really good. And you know, I mentioned earlier, I'm a little bit concerned about that baggage that he brings with him. You know, obviously involved handing the gun or providing the gun in fatal shooting while he was playing at Alabama. But when you're looking at him as a prospect, he certainly has all the tools to be really good. Put up massive numbers at Alabama, 18.8 points per game, 8.2 rebounds per game, shot 43% from the floor. Again, did not play well in the NCAA tournament. You mentioned the groin injury earlier. But a pro comp I like with Brandon Miller is Paul George. He even said he kind of models his game after PG.
Yeah, and Brandon Miller, an elite shot maker who can hit threes from all around the arc. He's going to have to improve on his handle a little bit. That's something and an area in which he struggled with earlier in the season. A lot of people want to knock him for not performing well in the NCAA tournament. Keep in mind, he did have a groin injury. Checking in at number 3 on our big board, these G League Ignite players continue to get a lot of buzz, and Scoot Henderson, one of the latest of them. This guy is a human highlight reel who can really throw it down with the athleticism of a Russell Westbrook and Derrick Rose. We're talking about that type of explosion. For Scoot Henderson, the size, I like it. 6'2", 195 for a combo guard who can at one point be a lead guard as well. Good on the defensive end because of that aforementioned athleticism. What I always say about these prospects, they need to become better three-point shooters. You can't be a guard nowadays or a wing nowadays in this league and not be able to shoot the three-point shot. That's why Russell Westbrook's career on the back end of it has become a frustrating one in which he's been on all these teams over the last couple of years. So for Scoot, he's very gifted, 16.5 points per game with the G League Ignite. He is playing against pro players. He's not getting some of the notoriety that some of these college players are. 27.5% from three, though, needs to be a little bit better. Will, you had the number 2 pick. Who are you taking, and cue it up for the audience
Absolutely, no question about it. No hesitation. It is Scoot Henderson.
Okay.
It is absolutely 100 times out of 100, it's Scoot Henderson. Surefire superstar in this league.
Now we go to another player in the SEC, Anthony Black out of Arkansas. And Black is certainly an interesting prospect, no doubt about it. I thought what Arkansas was able to do this year, pretty impressive. One of the biggest standouts in the NCAA tournament. And he played well, did well in solidifying his status as a lottery prospect. 6'7", 198 pounds. 19 years old. His regular season numbers, only 13 points per game, 30% from three. He does have some shades of Lonzo Ball because he's a floor general. High basketball IQ, really good feel for the game, but a lot of teams covet his two-way ability, very good on-ball defense as well. As for Amen Thompson, he checks in at number 5 on our big board here. And a team is going to be able to get a solid player here because he has the athleticism of a Ja Morant and the vertical ability of Zion Williamson, who's a lot skinnier, 200 pounds but 6'7". Very good athleticism, human highlight reel. I actually like his ball handling a lot better than Brandon Miller. Both of them similar size. And in today's positionless NBA, he does have that positional versatility. As for Ausar Thompson, coming in at number 6 here, the Thompson twins, 5'6". It's really the consensus around, Will.
Yeah, and with Ausar, I think he's a better defender. Amen probably has the better upside as a scorer. But Thompson averaged over 3.5 combined steals and blocks per game. That would be Ausar Thompson. Needs to improve his shooting a little bit, but a great on-ball defender.
Gradey Dick, number 7 here. A lot of people might say this is a little bit too high.
I watched him live. This is not too high.
Let's tell you why number 7 is not too high for Gradey Dick. What do teams covet, what do teams look for in today's NBA? Wings who can shoot the basketball.
Yep.
Gradey Dick shot 40% from three-point range last year, and I think he's going to continue to get better. Good athlete, great size at 6'8", 205, has some bulk to his frame. The catch-and-shoot threat ability allows him to play from day one. It's not all he can do, though. He can handle, he can hit the pull-up, good feel for the game. I like his hustle plays as well. I love the effort that he puts in night out.
Dude's just a walking bucket, Chase, and he's going to be a really good player in the NBA. Kevin O'Connor said he's got shades of Reggie Miller. Kind of agree, like that comp.
Okay, Reggie Miller there. Keyonte George out of Baylor. You know, Coach Drew has done a great job of developing some of these prospects into pros out of Baylor. And this past year, good production for him. 15 points per game. He can fill it up in a hurry that will kind of remind you a little bit of a Jaden Hardy, where some nights he's going to be ice cold from the floor. Other nights, though, he has the flamethrower working, and you're like, my goodness, this guy cannot be stopped. When he goes on a heater, look out. Jarace Walker out of Houston. Kelvin Sampson has had that Houston program humming over the last couple of years. This is one of the latest prospects coming out of the Cougars program.
Yeah, Walker's one of the best defenders in this class, Chase. Versatility is a strength of his because he's solid on both ends. Also a major pick-and-roll threat. I think he's got a lot of potential here to be good at the next level, as well as Taylor Hendricks. Hendricks is actually one of my favorite players in this entire class. What really impressed me is that he came in to UCF as a 4-star, 59th overall prospect last year, was not expected to be a one-and-done, but his stock continued to rise throughout the year, has a good chance to be a top 10 pick because he's a big man that can also shoot 39% from 3 this year, also great as a rim protector.
Bigs who can shoot. Gimme, gimme, gimme if I'm constructing an NBA roster. Before we continue to move forward here, make sure you subscribe to us here at Chat Sports. This will be your home for the best NBA offseason coverage, free agency, draft, prospect breakdowns. We're giving you a snippet of what we bring to the table on today's show. Subscribe, lock us in on the road to 334,000 subscribers. BetUS, our sponsor for today's big board here. Chatsports.com/bet, promo code chat125. You get a 125% deposit bonus. What that means is you put in $100, you get $125 back. You can bet on upcoming NFL games, literally anything that you want, NBA playoffs as well. Chatsports.com/bet, promo code chat125. We'll start to go a little bit more quickly through some of these players here. Nick Smith out of Arkansas, Jordan Hawkins out of UConn. We have them high on our board because Jordan Hawkins can shoot the rock. And Jordan Hawkins can shoot the rock with ease. And last year for the champion UConn Huskies, 16 points per game. What I love here, though, pull-up midi is pretty smooth, but he can light it up from downtown as well. Nearly 39% on his three-point shots. Will, I know you're not a big fan of Cam Whitmore. He didn't necessarily live up to those lofty expectations when he went to Villanova. Missed a lot of time earlier in the year, but the ability is certainly there. I don't think you can deny that.
Yeah, the potential's there. He's a great defender. What kind of disappointed me at Nova was his scoring prowess. He just didn't put up the numbers I was looking for at Nova. Needs to work on his shot, but he certainly showed progress throughout the year in terms of his scoring ability. He's got the athleticism. There's no question about that.
Cason Wallace out of Kentucky, another John Calipari player who is going to go most likely as a lottery pick or at least be one of those fringe lottery selections. He could be a game-changing point of attack defender. And as an offensive player, he needs to improve just a tad, but on the defensive end, you can count on him to lock down some cats in the NBA right now. Kobe Buffkin, our boss James Yoder, host of the Michigan Football Report, a very big fan of Kobe Buffkin. He comes in at number 15. Jalen Hood-Schifino out of Indiana. He comes in at number 16 on our 2023 NBA Draft Big Board. G.G. Jackson out of South Carolina, the forward. He has some crazy length, crazy athleticism. There's a reason why he's coming this late on our big board. I just think he needs to round out his offensive game. Well, as you can see, with the picture behind the stats here, he's extremely long.
Yeah.
Extremely long, so he has positional versatility.
What's interesting about Jackson is he was originally the top-ranked prospect out of high school in the 2023 class. He reclassified to the class of 2022, so it's been a year at South Carolina and put up big numbers for the Gamecocks.
Let's go to the land down under. Aussie, Aussie, Aussie. Oi, oi, oi to the New Zealand Breakers. Ryan Rupert, good player here, played for the New Zealand Breakers in the NBL, originally out of France. I do think that the NBL has developed into one of the better international leagues in the world. You know, for a long time, China had some of those really good international leagues. They still do, but now it's the NBL. When you look at him, shades of like an Otto Porter, who really played a critical role for the Golden State Warriors 2 years ago en route to the championship. Only 7 points per game, 31% on his threes. Nearly a steal per game, though. Wingspan, 7'3". Jay Billis would love him. Leonard Miller out of the G League here. Played for the Ignite as well, kind of fell under the radar because of that. And then Bobby Klintman out of Wake Forest. He comes in at number 20. Good ball handler. I think he's a little bit underrated in that regard. Very good length as well. So with that, let's ask you this. What prospect in this 2023 draft class do you think will be a bust at the next level? There are a couple of guys who are no doubt going to be a bust. And when you're drafting in the lottery or outside of it, sometimes you are drafting based purely upon potential. So drop us a name down in the comment section. How about Derek Lively, and then you can run through 21 through 25 here, Will.
Yeah, Derek Lively, hyped up recruit, somewhat failed to reach those expectations he had at Duke, but still like the potential with him. Got strong potential as a rim protector specifically. And then Jet Howard, the son of Juwan Howard, played for his dad at Michigan, 14.2 points per game, shot 37% from three, knockdown three-point shooter.
Yeah, solid right there. Bilal Koulibaly out of France. Wow, I knocked that pronunciation out of the park. This is Victor Wembanyama's teammate. So what a good 1-2 punch over in France with those two just balling out together. Thinking he's going to be a first-round pick, could slip to the second round. Obviously, the pre-draft process going to be important for a couple of these guys that we're talking about here. And then coming in at number 24, Noah Clowney out of Alabama. Everybody was focused in on Brandon Miller throughout this past year. Nate Oates is a great recruiter. He's put together some really good rosters. Noah Clowney, one of those. And then Andre Jackson. This is a player who has been polarizing inside the walls here at Chat Sports. His jump shot is broken. He cannot shoot. But because he's smart, because he has a high basketball IQ, because he does have a well-rounded, diverse game, we've kind of compared him a little bit to Draymond Green. He's really good at sniffing out those backdoor cuts, pushing the tempo in the open floor when he needs to. That UConn team, I think we're going to look back on it, Will, and say, my goodness, what a roster that was, because that team's certainly special.
Yeah, Andre Jackson, kind of the unsung hero on that Huskies team.
Just like Draymond's been for the Dubs.
Right, especially in the NCAA tournament. He can really do it all, and not the best shooter, like you said, but can defend at a high level.
So who is your favorite NBA draft prospect? Just drop us a name down in the comments section. We'll give you some shout-outs here on Chat Sports. We appreciate y'all for watching NBA Draft Lottery. Can't wait to see how it shakes out.